Hello folks, welcome back with Excursions with Pat. Today we're going to be discussing a few things. Harkins Academy, the demolition that's going to happen very shortly. Some information about the data center. Some new hours for the Horizon Health Center. They've extended to go over that. I think it's 3 extra days besides the one that they have now. So it's 4 extra days throughout the week to accommodate people instead of going to the Miramichi hospital. And one last thing I want to discuss is the 46 residents on Cole Crescent that has been displaced due to severe safety issues, hazards at this facility. A lot of people were pissed, but stick with us. Greatly appreciate it. But thank you very much for coming in. My page is mostly about what happened with the last week or so. I'm just getting caught up now. The family and I were away for a little bit, but I'm just going to share what I know at this time. If I'm wrong, leave a comment below. If you're new to my channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. So let's get going to our first story of the night. So here's a city council meeting that was on July 21st. The discussion on what happened. Video we can discuss what was said in the meeting, but no further ado.
So on July 17th, the Miramichi Fire Department issued a no occupancy order for 15 Cole Crescent because of life safety concerns. As a result, a number of residents were displaced from their homes with very little notice. Many of those residents are particularly vulnerable and have complex health, social, financial, and housing needs. The immediate priority was to make sure that no one was left without a safe place to stay. Before I speak about the response, all
right, so just to let everybody know, if you don't know where Cole Crescent is, it's at the Chatham base. It is where approximately is, if you know where Big Brother Big Sister is, then there's a church beside that, and then the building is beside that. So it's in Chatham base near Big Brother Big Sister, if you didn't know already.
The decision to issue a no occupancy order is never taken lightly. The fire department's primary responsibility is to protect life and to ensure public safety, and in this case they were faced with a very difficult situation involving residents who were suddenly displaced from their homes. They understood that behind the safety concerns were real people who were being asked to leave their homes, many of whom were already facing significant challenges. The fire department did what we expect them to do. They put life safety first, but they did it with compassion, respect, and a clear understanding of the people affected by their decision. I'm also very proud of the way our community responded. The city moved quickly to establish an emergency shelter at the Golden Hawk Recreation Center. That response would not have been possible without the tremendous cooperation and support we received from many organizations and individuals. I want to specifically thank the Canadian Red Cross for stepping in and providing on-site shelter management and humanitarian support. I also want to recognize our provincial partners, Miramichi Housing Solutions, Mayor Arsenault, MLA Conroy, community organizations, volunteers, and all of the agencies and individuals who have been working hard behind the scenes to provide food, clothing, health supports, social services, housing assistance, and other supports to residents. I also want to thank city staff, including our recreation team, who quickly responded and helped make the facility available. These situations are incredibly challenging, and the response required people to come together quickly, work collaboratively, and find solutions as we went. This is a very good example of what happens when a community comes together in a time of need. The emergency shelter has provided that immediate safety and stability. However, the situation will now begin to change. What started as an emergency response will become a longer-term housing issue. Based on the information available to us, it is unlikely that residents will be able to return to 15 Cole Crescent in the very near future. Our recommendation tonight is to continue operating the emergency shelter at the Golden Hawk Recreation Center until August 7th. We are recommending that we provide a reasonable period of continued support while the transition to longer-term housing is completed. The estimated cost of operating the shelter is approximately $60,000 per week, and the requested extension would bring the estimated municipal cost to approximately $180,000. That we have received indications that provincial financial assistance may be available to offset eligible emergency response costs. However, we do not yet have a formal reimbursement agreement in place. Tonight, I'm asking council to approve the continuation of the emergency shelter at the Golden Hawk Recreation Center until August 7th at an estimated cost of $180,000, while staff continue to work with the province, the Canadian Red Cross, and community partners to transition residents to appropriate longer-term housing.
That council approves the continued operation of the emergency shelter at the Golden Hawk Recreation Center until August 7th, 2026, with an estimated operation cost of approximately $180,000. Staff are directed to pursue reimbursement opportunities with the province of New Brunswick.
All right, I will call the vote. All those in favor signify by pushing yes. Those opposed signify by pushing no. That motion is carried unanimously 8-0. Thank you.
So it's very unfortunate what happened to the 46 residents. I can't imagine what they're going through, but it's good that the community, the Canadian Red Cross, the amazing staff at the Miramichi Fire Department, the MLA Conroy, Michelle Conroy, and the mayor as well. They definitely helped out. Even the community helped out with items and money and donations for these people. But yeah, this place was definitely in disarray. It was severely a safety hazard. So those people had to get out of here for their own good, for health reasons and stuff. But it's good. Right now, they are staying at the Golden Hawk at the base for now. So the meeting that they had today is to extend their stay there until, I think, August 7th. So it was voted 8-0 to go ahead with it. So as it stands right now, the people that are living there is going to be there until August 7th, until there's some permanent housing for these people to go. It will cost quite a bit of money. I think they said $60,000 per week, which is going to be around $180,000 for the stay at the end. It may extend after that, but who knows? But unfortunately, these folks were taken out of their homes. But the great thing is the community acted right away and had a replacement for them right away at the Golden Hawk. So if you guys want to donate, help out with these folks, reach out to the Canadian Red Cross, reach out to the council, the mayor, how other ways you can help with these folks, because they definitely need help. But yes, the bad thing is the place is condemned. Yes, the owner should have probably kept up on it, but we don't know the whole story of all that. It just kind of carries on what happened at the Harkins Academy that they're planning to demolish. But that's the next story that we're coming up. But besides the residents, I'm glad they have a place to stay. I'm glad the community pitched in, helped them to have a place to lay their head down. So kudos to the fire department, Canadian Red Cross, and everybody else involved. That's a thumbs up for me. Great job, great community. That's why I love Miramichi. All right, before we carry on with some information about the data center, I want to bring up a topic about Horizon Health. All right, so a little bit of good news about Horizon Health Network. Heads up, Miramichi Air, the Pleasant Street After Hours Clinic will offer their 3 additional evenings of walk-in severe service again this week. So the clinic typically operates Wednesday from 6 to 8, offering walk-in services for those needing non-urgent medical care. This week, the hours of service are. So if you have major issues, of course, go to the Miramichi Regional Hospital. So the new hours, as you can see here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the new days, new hours, still 6 to 8. So those seeking care for non-urgent medical issues can visit the 250 Pleasant Street on the dates and times noted above. This is huge. It's definitely going to help out a lot of people because, as you know, there's always huge lineups before you get in. I think they're only accepting 30 to 35. But these are the new hours. There's 3 more additional walk-in services for the Miramichi for the Miramichi area. So that's great news for the area. All right, so our next hot topic that's been pretty hot for the last couple of weeks here on the Miramichi, as you know, data center, battery storage facility possibility coming to the Miramichi area. But in order for that to happen, the city of Miramichi has to change the bylaw zoning heavy industrial to include the data center facility, and a battery storage facility in the Miramichi area. So when people heard of this, people were up in arms. They were pretty livid. And the city of Miramichi, the council and the mayor definitely heard a lot of people commenting, sending in letters, emails. From there, it went from a public hearing on August 4th, I think it was, where you can come and if you have any issues, bring any concerns that you have, you can show it there. But now the meeting has been canceled due to they want to do a review now. So they want to get a lot of information from the federal and provincial side of things, which is good. Maybe they should have done that at the beginning. But now they are. That's all what the people want. People want to be heard. So kudos to every one of you for getting the word out. And by the way, keep your abusive harassment to the sides. We are all adults here. I know there was a few of you that did that, and it's unacceptable. And it does not belong here on my channel or in the comment area. You will be deleted. But anyway, no further ado, we're going to watch some of the clips on the July 21st meeting about this data center, a little bit more information.
So first, I want to acknowledge the significant public interest in this proposed zoning amendment and the strong concerns that have been expressed by many residents. That level of engagement demonstrates that people care deeply about the future of our community, and staff and I genuinely appreciate that. Residents have every right to ask questions, raise concerns, challenge proposals, and expect clear and accurate information. It is our responsibility as a municipality to listen to those concerns and ensure that council has the information it needs to make an informed decision. I also recognize that much of the public discussion surrounding this issue has involved a wide range of information and perspectives. Some of that information may be incomplete or based on assumptions about what the proposed amendment would or would not permit. The proposed amendment before council does not in itself approve a data center or commit the city to supporting any particular project. Rather, it would establish the planning framework within which any future proposal would be considered. Exploring an opportunity does not mean supporting it. Considering a proposal does not mean approving it. It means ensuring that council has the ability to properly evaluate it and make a decision based on the best information available. Whatever the direction council ultimately chooses, I believe it is important that we approach this discussion respectfully, objectively, and with a shared commitment to making the best decision possible for the future of Miramichi.
I think there's people that could give us advice on this, and that we could take the time to make sure that if this ends up being something that this council agrees to, that we know that we have looked at it.
The amendment to the original motion to include that council receive third-party expert advice on this topic, as well as relevant consultation from the provincial and federal governments. I will call the vote. All those in favor signify by pushing yes. Opposed signify by pushing no. That motion is carried unanimously 8-0.
All right, so you all know how I feel it gets with the data center, my previous videos. So as the guy was saying there, there's a lot of information, misinformation they call it, that's going out. People are sharing. But if that's the case, maybe these councillors and mayors should have told us more about it at the beginning before it just exploded in Miramichi with all this information that's out there right now. But I'm glad that they're looking for a third party, which they just voted 8-0 to go out and look for a third party to help them review if it's the federal, provincial side of things, and what's the next step in possibly bringing this here. It's a touchy subject. So, like I say, For me, I don't want it here. Put her back in the woods somewhere. I don't want it here in Miramichi. But that's my thought. I'm not here to stir up the pot or anything. It's just my thoughts. There's other different venues that we can bring here in the Miramichi, but a database and battery storage facility, I don't know. But it's good that they are taking initiative to reach out to a third party. Perhaps maybe it'd be a good thing. I don't know. I'm not a professional at this. I just see and hear, and I just, we all have different thoughts about it. So I'm glad that everything's kind of put on hold right now. Now we just need to go ahead and get more information before we decide to change our bylaw zoning, if that's what it's called, I think. But anyway, next story. It's about Harkins Academy that we all know about. So yeah, it's Harkins Academy, built back in 1894. It's a stone building that has been part of this community for close to 130 years, educating a lot of people over the years, students, young students. I think it was a college at one time too. But after years of just sitting, now it's going to go ahead now and it's going to be demolished, making the ends of this beautiful stone Harkins Academy school that's been standing for 130 years. But we're going to hear what the councillors say about this. I know a lot of people reached out to some of the councillors' concerns, perhaps keep it and fix it up and possibly reopen it again. But as you can hear in this video that I'm going to be shown, they'll explain exactly what was said and why the hazmat guy did not want to go in it for many severe hazard issues.
350 Newcastle Boulevard demolition. Director Buckingham, back to you.
On June 10th, an engineer, the engineering department was asked to do an assessment of a third-party structure based on the condition of it. They're expecting it to be structurally unsound and a hazard to the public. So an engineer inspected the property with the bylaw officer and deemed that it was unsafe based on the structural integrity of the building. Upon inspection, there was numerous areas located that had vertical columns that were broken, some beams across the second and third floor that have completely collapsed into the first floor, which we believe is the reason why the columns are breaking. And at the end of the day, it was deemed unsafe, and we followed the proper steps with the bylaw officer in the clerk's office and issued the proper notice to the third-party owner. And a tender was issued, and now it is closed. So also on the inspection portion, we had asked a consultant to come in and help us with some hazmat testing, and they deemed the building unsafe and they would not enter it.
Is it repairable?
This would require significant bracing. It would require a very well thought out plan with structural analysis done by their engineer, because at the end of the day it is owned by them. I'd have to see a plan in place before I'd be willing to say it could be repaired.
We move to award the tender. I want to address the correspondence council and the mayor have received from some residents regarding the Harkins building. First, let me say that the passion behind the messages are admirable. The people who took the time to send them clearly care about the city, its history, its landscape, and that's the kind of civic engagement we want in our citizens, and it should not be dismissed. But as members of council, we also carry a duty to every citizen of Miramichi, and that duty includes public safety. I understand the current owner has expressed a willingness to sell. However, it must be said plainly, this building cannot pass to just any buyer. Without the means and the commitment to actually restore it, we would inevitably find ourselves back in the same position we are in today, only further down the road with further deterioration and further risk. The Harkins building has been deteriorating for years. Our engineering department has assessed it and confirmed it now constitutes a safety concern and public risk. This is not a speculation. This is a professional judgment of the people we rely on to tell us when a structure has crossed that line. The efforts to mount a last-minute save are sincere and they are admirable, but as a city, we cannot place the future of a building ahead of the safety of the public, of the people who walk past it, live near it, and trust us to act in their interest. Public safety must come first. That is the responsibility we are entrusted with, and that is the responsibility that guides my vote on this tender.
That motion was carried unanimously, 8-0.
All right, so you heard the video. So the engineer was in there. The bylaw officer was in there as well. They condemned it to tear it down for tender for whoever's going to win this contract to demolish it. Even the hazmat refused to go in as well, stating that the vertical beam in the basement is collapsing. So if that is the case, they should be barricading the place right now, keep everybody away. It's unfortunate that this is happening. So the demolishing is going ahead, and it's just what happens when a building stays vacant for so long. The city allows somebody to buy this building out, thinking they're going to do something with it. He had it for, was it over 4 years, and he didn't do nothing to it at all. So now it's to the point where he can't even sell it. The city has said it's condemned to tear it down. So that's the final vote, and that's what it is, 8-0 vote. So Harkins Academy is going to be demolished very shortly. So there you have it, folks. A few topics, hot topics of the week. I'm going to be doing more of these videos. If there's anything you guys want me to discuss, see, talk about, just leave a comment on the bottom. But it was a great talk today. Database is put on hold. They're going to be out in review for a third party to discuss things. As far as Cole Crescent with the people that were displaced from the building because of severe issues with the building. They have definitely been placed at the Golden Hawk facility until August 7th, which is a great thing, great for the community, great for the fire departments and whoever else was involved, the Canadian Red Cross as well. As far as the Harkins Academy, unfortunately, they have to tear it down due to severe neglect, more or less. But thank you all for coming in here to Excursions with Pat. It's been a great show. If you enjoy this content, hit that like, hit that subscribe, share the feed. It'd be greatly appreciated. But thank you very much again. Until next time, I'm Pat from Excursions. Take care, folks.